welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. I'm Leo and I'm going to show you my steelbook collection. Now in total I have 713 steelbooks. Now this is actually going to be split into two videos. This one is going to be pretty much everything which isn't Marvel. I have already filmed my Marvel one, of which there are 284. Sort of steelbooks on that video. I will link it in the description box below. So if you're interested in the Marvel stuff, that's all in one video. This is literally everything else, with the exception of one thing which I'll show you, which I've only just picked up, which I didn't have time to put in the Marvel video after I'd already filmed that. So this is, let's have a look, 428 steelbooks, which none of which are the Marvel stuff. So this is everything else. Now there are a couple of metal packs and future packs and stuff like that. I know they're technically not steelbooks, but you know I kind of count them in the collection, so I'm aware that they're not all the steelbooks. So there you go. Please enjoy. I mean, I love looking at anyone else's collection. So if you've got a steelbook collection on YouTube, please let me know. I'd love to check it out, and let me know if there are any kind of additions in mind that I have that you particularly like, and maybe if you want them, maybe I can help you kind of track them down, point you to where I got them and things like that. Before we get into the main video, I do want to just point out a couple of stragglers. As I've mentioned, I actually picked up the Spider-Man Far From Home Japanese edition box set. Now, I'd actually got this after I'd already filmed my Marvel one. That's not in there. This is the only Marvel thing which is not in this in that video, so I thought I'd just quickly show that one. It's kind of like a box set, but it's got a unique steelbook, which is you can only get in Japan. Then a couple of steelbook box sets which just won't fit in the shelf. So there's the Machete steelbook box set, which comes with the steelbook, and you've got like a figure and stuff in there with some art cards and bits and pieces. And then the big one, which is the Creed. This is a French box set, and this is pretty good. You've got the steelbook in there. You've also got a pair of Creed boxing gloves and a kind of some shorts as well. There you go. So that is a pretty decent set. Obviously, it's pretty big. But that does count in the collection. Anyway, let's crack on and we'll watch kind of the video, all the kind of steelbooks. They are in kind of genre order, and I'll try and put the you know, the kind of the breaks where they are if you want to look at a specific genre within that kind of in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. So the first one I'm going to show you for TV shows is this Camelot box set. Now, not strictly a steelbook, although I haven't actually opened it. It's actually a tin with the Blu-rays inside. So Camelot was a short-lived series, kind of on the lines of Game of Thrones, obviously based on the King Arthur legends. Only lasted one season, and that is it. Not strictly a steelbook, but a kind of tin box set. On the subject of Game of Thrones, of course, so we have to have the series itself. This is the season 1 box set. This is the magnet set that you would have got. I think most places got this. Each kind of season come with a different kind of sigil magnet. This one's sealed. This is the season 1, and I think in the UK the first few seasons were released by Zavi. And then we have season 2, once again with the seal there. And then we have season 3, of course, once again with the sigil. And then we have season 4. I've had to sort of try and put these in some of these protector cases, and they don't quite fit. Season 5, this is the one that I think tends to go for the most money for some reason. The 6th season. The 7th season, which of course was a shorter season. And then the much maligned final season, season 8. This one's actually a 4K one. It's the only time they actually did a 4K. All the rest are Blu-rays. This was the Blu-ray and 4K edition. For some reason, I personally thought they just should have kept them Blu-ray. Otherwise, because none of the other ones are 4K. So there you go. That's the last season. Then we have The Walking Dead season 1. This was the first 3 seasons of this was from the Entertainment Store in the UK. This particular kind of artwork. Then we have season 2. We have season 3, which is a jumbo steelbook. For some reason, it's the only one that is. As you can see, you got the exclusive 2 logo up there. And then Zavvi took over with the same sort of style artwork with season 4. Season 5, good old Carol. Then we have the ill-fated Glenn on the front of this one, season 6. And of course Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan on the season 7 one. So all I've got, I haven't got seasons 8 or 9, which have also been released. Then we have the Spartacus Blood and Sand. This is a great series. Season 1 starred Andy Whitfield. Unfortunately, he passed away not long after the season 1 was made. So they had to recast him, and those seasons were, quite frankly, not as good. But this is season 1. Great sort of historical fantasy series in the line of 300, that sort of thing. They also did a prequel series while Andy Whitfield was still alive. This one doesn't star him. This was kind of a shorter season in hope that he would kind of come round. This is actually a really good season as well, focuses on a different character. But sadly, Andy Whitfield didn't. Poor Andy passed away. But the prequel season is really good as well, actually, because it stars John Hannah as Batty Arthur, who was also in the first season. And then we have True Detective season 1. Haven't actually watched this yet, to be honest. I hear good things, but I hear season 2 is going to be rubbish. I've only got the season 1. I've randomly got season 7 of Star Trek The Next Generation. I actually bought this as part of a bundle. I'm not really a Trekkie, to be honest. So I may have seen a couple of episodes from this one. But anyway, this is the only Star Trek Next Generation thing I have. So season 7 Steelbook. Then we have the Ash versus the Evil Dead. This is the Best Buy metal pack, which is quite heavily embossed with the chainsaw there. Quite sought after, this one now. Never released in the UK as a metal pack, only in the States. And then we have the season 2 Steelbook rather than the metal pack. And then season 3 Steelbook. I don't like these series as much as the films, but they're still kind of quite good fun. Okay, and that is the TV. Let's move on to some movies. So, moving on, horror. First one we're going to talk about is The Evil Dead. This is the original movie, and this is the UK edition. So the Evil Dead franchise is one of my favourite franchises, so I do have a few additions to this one. So that is the first UK version. And then we have the German version. And then we we have the American version. So then we have Evil Dead 2, which is my second favourite movie of all time. This one is the original release on Steelbook by Zavi, and I don't think you can get this one in anywhere else other than the UK, this particular edition. You can get this one, which is the 4K version, and although mine's not, yeah, so this is the UK version. But this was released in all different countries with some really cool new artwork on there. But Evil Dead 2 is the one of them that doesn't have it has the least amount of releases, I would say, in regards to steelbooks. Because Germany, you have Army of Darkness. This is the German Army of Darkness one with, again, very kind of unique artwork to it. And then you have the American version, which I think is from Shout Factory, Screen Factory, whatever it's called. And you have the UK version, which has got one of the two sort of posters that the movie had. And then the Evil Dead Trilogy Collection. This is a German edition. And then finally for the Evil Dead we have the remake, which is the pop art version. The Dutch one. I'm not a huge fan of this movie, to be honest, so I've only got the one version of this one. But I wanted to have at least one version, but I probably will get the original one as well at some point. Okay, so on to the Conjuring movies, which is also a franchise I really enjoy. This is an American release by, as you can see here, by FYE. We had the German release, which features Annabelle, which I feel was a little bit misleading, to be honest. Then we have the UK edition, which, you know, is pretty scarce nowadays, and is probably the most sought after out of all of the these three releases. And then we have the second movie. This is the UK edition. This one's from HMV. I believe this kind of art was released in other countries, certainly from France. I think it's still available there if you wanted to pick this one up. I have the first two movie double pack. This is a German edition, but it does have, you know, different kind of artwork to the singular one for the second movie at least, which I thought was quite good. We have the Annabelle movie, the first one. This once again, as you can see, is an FYI exclusive, FYE even. So the American one. Then we have the German version of the original movie. I think this was a MediaMarkt or Saturn exclusive. I can't remember which. And then once again from Germany we have probably, I would say most people like this one the best, Annabelle 2. And quite a nice steelbook, because obviously it's meant to be the case where, you know, she's kept in, which I think is quite a neat idea. And then the most recent one, Annabelle Comes Home. And this is a UK edition, which was exclusive for the Warner Brothers site. But again, I think you can get this particular artwork in other countries. And then we have The Nun, a movie which I quite enjoyed, I'll be honest. I think it was quite a fun horror movie with some great visuals. But a lot of people don't like this movie, and to be honest with you, the steelbook's a little boring. And then we have The Curse of La Llorona, which is actually part of the Conjuring universe. I don't think it's probably advertised as much as it should be for that, but this is the German version, hence the kind of the German title here. But this is the only steelbook version that I think is currently available. And then we have Insidious, Chapter 3. This is the only one I've got for this franchise. Go to some creature features. So Meg, I love the idea of a Megalodon movie. I think it's great. I think the movie was okay. Yeah, I'm glad they made a big budget version of it at least. A few kind of low budget ones. And then we have this is the same movie, just a different steelbook. This is the German version. And I just really enjoyed the artwork with the kind of like the hazy kind of red background. Even though I would have liked, I don't know, part of me wants to take the J card off because I think it gets in the way of the art, but I really enjoy the artwork of that. There's also a third one, but I don't love the movie that much. The granddaddy of the shark film was, of course, Jaws. This is a UK edition. And then we have The Shallows. This is a UK edition again. Then we have a kind of a silly shark movie, and of course the original Sharknado. You can get obviously the Sharknado collection both in the States and in Germany, but I've only got the one movie on this one. Then we have Piranhas. This is like a Dutch one, I believe. Then we have the UK edition. We have Piranhas Double D, which is obviously the kind of the modern version. Then we have Rogue, which is a fantastic Killer Croc movie. This is a German metal pack. Yeah, great film. If you've not seen this one, I would highly recommend checking it out. Then we have the Underworld movie. This is the first one. This is a metal pack. Not quite sure which country it's from. And then I have a second metal pack for the first Underworld movie. And this one's got like a really highly embossed sleeve on it. And I just really like the artwork for this one. So this is my favourite out of the two versions. I think it's fantastic artwork. Then we have the Underworld Evolution. And again, I think this is a Dutch steelbook. The Underworld Rise of the Lycans, which is actually my favourite movie out of the series, to be honest. Not featuring Kate Beckinsale on that one, but I actually kind of like the more fantasy setting of it. Then we have the Underworld Awakening. And then Underworld Reckoning. Oh, sorry, Blood Wars. What am I talking about? Underworld Blood Wars. My favourite movie of all time, Fright Night. This one's by Eureka. And a glorious edition with lots of special features. Also a steelbook I really enjoy. This is obviously The Lost Boys. This one's actually the American version. It was re-released in the UK with the same artwork some years later, but I got the American or Canadian one beforehand, so I obviously wanted to pick it up. Van Helsing, the German landscape steelbook. Interview the Vampire. This is a Korean version which has got a lenticular slipcase on it that is absolutely wedged in there, so I won't pick it out. And I think this is limited to 700 pieces. I don't know if you can see that. So this one's, you know, fairly kind of pricey. I actually managed to pick this up for a really decent price because they misspelled Interview the Vampire, so not a lot of people bid on it on eBay. Daybreakers, quite a fun modern vampire movie. This is a Dutch metal pack. Dracula Untold, UK steelbook. Dracula, the obviously Bela Lugosi one. This one's actually in a slipcase, and this one was put out by Zoom. Yikes! The Twilight Saga, 3 of the movies. I actually only picked this up because it was part of a bundle, I thought. Honestly. So we've got some werewolf action, obviously The Howling. This is a UK steelbook. The werewolf movie, we have Wolfsbane. This is an American steelbook, and it's a B movie that stars Mark Dacascos. You may know from John Wick Parabellum. We also have Wolf Cop. I actually haven't seen this movie. I've seen the second one, but not the first one, and I didn't like the second one. So I just couldn't be bothered to go and watch this after I'd already bought it. We have the Mummy. This one is the Brendan Fraser. It's the first one. $14.08 is a metal pack. Pretty decent little horror movie. And we have the Warlock Trilogy, which is a pretty decent movie. At least the first one's really good. The second one's not quite as good, and the third one is, you know, forgettable, to be fair. But the first movie, at least, is worth watching. And this is a German steelbook. So we have The Return of the Living Dead. This is a UK steelbook, and I think it's one of the first Blu-ray steelbooks I actually bought outside of the Marvel ones, to be honest. I love this movie. Overlord, this is the German version. I'm not interested in 4K, and the UK one only was released on steelbook in 4K, so I had to go to Germany to get the steelbook just on a Blu-ray format. Zombie Flesh Eaters, of course, seminal zombie movie. This one is put out by Aaran. I don't know, this has got a bunch of different names for Zombie 2 and all this, but in the UK it's Zombie Flesh Eaters. We have the first Resident Evil movie. This is an Italian version, so I don't think the first movie was actually released in the UK on steelbooks. So I mean, the first one's my favourite out of the series. I think it's the most horror-like, if that makes sense, and yeah, so I wanted to pick this one up. I also have Afterlife, which, to be honest with you, I have no idea which one that is in the series, which number it is, but I've got it. And I also have the Resident Evil Trilogy, which is obviously the first 3 movies in a foreign steelbook. Staying with some zombie action, we have a B-movie metal pack. This is Zombie Night 1 and 2. I have actually reviewed the first one on the channel, but I don't think I've seen the second one, which is probably nothing to do with the first one. It's just been another zombie movie, just kind of like retitled. Then we got Hostile, which is kind of actually a post-apocalyptic movie, so arguably you could say it's like a sci-fi movie, but it's essentially it's kind of a zombie movie. And this is a German metal pack, because I really enjoyed this movie. I reviewed this one on the channel with a screen, and I had to pick it up because I thought it was a really decent movie. And I have Maggie, of course, which was Arnie's attempt at some serious acting. I mean, it's kind of boring, to be quite honest with you. It's not badly made, but just not very interesting. And then we have Dead Snow. This is the second movie, Red vs. Dead. It's not as classic as the first, to be fair. And then we have Shaun of the Dead. This is a Canadian version. we have a British version. This one's actually put out by Everything Blue. Now you might think you've seen this all over the place, but there's a very similar looking steelbook with the same art, which is horizontal. It's a landscape one. Everything Blue put out the portrait version of it, which is actually exclusive to them. Then the final kind of zombie movie is the Zombieland with a high-def Ninja exclusive slipcase, which has actually got secret writing in there. So you can hear something knocking around in there. It's actually a black light, and if you shine it on the cover, you'll see all this kind of writing that comes up. So yeah, but other than that, it's just a kind of the regular steelbook. But yeah, this is like limited, like 400 pieces. So it's quite unique, to be honest. Yeah. And then you've got Cabin in the Woods, which of course features practically every type of horror movie thing you can think of. Purge Anarchy, which is my favourite out of the Purge movies. Arguably more of an action film. But I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's so rewatchable. We have the Halloween Everything Blue edition. So we could have put out this edition, I think it was limited like 600 or so in this slipcase, which is numbered. And you've just got the kind of the Todd McFarlane steelbook in there. This has got postcards and all that jazz with it as well. And then I have the actual, just the regular version of it. Which I only got for £15 when it was, from Zoom, which was pretty good. The Hills Have Eyes. This is the remake, which I really enjoyed. I actually think this is a case where the remake is better than the original. And we have the Orphan Killer, which is a low-budget slasher movie. We have Tremors. This is Italian steelbook. This came out before the UK version did, so I had picked it up beforehand. The Thing, the Arrow steelbook. Fantastic, arguably one of the best horror movies ever made to this day. Then we have The Descent by director Neil Marshall. Really fantastic horror movie. This is the UK steelbook. I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the artwork here. But there you go, that is the UK steelbook. I've also picked up the a metal pack for this, which is, again, the artwork's trying to be kind of clever. Obviously, it's meant to be the kind of a cavern, really, but in the shape of a skull with, a light coming down. Not quite sure which country that's from. And we also have the Descent 2, same thing. Metal pack, sorry. You actually do get a like a spine magnet. And then we have the It. This is the 90s TV mini-series version with Tim Curry. And then we have the movie. This is the Chapter 1. This one, the particular one, is an HMV exclusive steelbook. Though I'm sure this probably design was all over the place in different countries. Sticking with the clown motif, we have Terrifier, which is a really good, very, very gruesome American slasher, lower budget one. Art the Mime. And then staying with a clown theme again, a movie called Clown, and then this is actually quite a unique story. So this is a pretty decent movie with actually a fairly kind of unique premise, which I won't spoil for you, but it plays like a little bit like a slasher movie, but I think it's got a fairly kind of like fun and unique twist to it. Imaginarium. This is a weird one. This is a it almost feels like it wants to be a Tim Burton movie. So if you're a fan of kind of like The Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff, then I would check this one out. And this is actually by a band called Nightwish, people involved with that. And it's kind of like a weird, like trippy movie that's meant to take place in someone's imagination. Legion, this is a Dutch, I believe, pretty decent kind of like angel horror movie that stars Paul Bettany. But I really enjoy it. It's kind of like an action horror movie, if that makes sense. We have Scream, which I think I won on a contest on YouTube. Can't remember who it's from though. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Final Destination 5, it's the only one I've got of this series. Silent Hill, this is a metal pack I believe, obviously based on a video game, but it's not a bad film. Hereditary, fairly well received, well, fairly divisive. I think some people really love it. Modern horror. As Above, So Below. This is a pretty decent found footage movie. If you're a found footage fan and you've not seen this one, I would recommend checking this one out. And this is a European version, not quite sure which country it's from though. Devil's Rock. This is a kind of a World War II, a kind of zombie / demonic possession movie. Similar in a way to Overlord. And it actually takes place the same day as Overlord almost. So you can almost watch this as a companion piece. Like it takes place on D-Day, I think it is, or the day before D-Day. And then we have The Witch. This is an Italian version. We have Nurse, or Nurse 3D. I was actually inspired to get this from another YouTuber's pickup, Grant the Horror Fan Man. He picked this up and I thought, oh, do you know what, I like the look of that, I might pick that up myself. Sieben, or Seven, that's the German 7 steelbook. The Omen, UK steelbook. Frankenstein's Army. I really enjoyed this movie. Again, it's a little bit similar to Overlord. The Vanishing. To be honest with you, I haven't actually watched this movie. I picked this up as a blind buy and I still haven't actually watched it. This is a metal pack. So I really couldn't tell you much about this film. And then we have Humanoids from the Deep, which I never thought would get a steelbook in a million years, but here we are. And this is a fantastic, silly kind of creature feature from, of course, Roger Corman, I believe. Actually, a little bit kind of sexually provocative, to be honest. We have The Mist, and this is a foreign version, but I wanted to get this one specifically because it has the kind of the proper cover to it, and actually the title The Mist in English. The UK version, I didn't actually like the artwork, so I wanted to get kind of more of the actual like proper poster design, but a lot of them don't have the UK spelling of the title, so this one I found and decided to go for this one. I Am Legend, of course, based on a very famous book, which still, to be fair, hasn't been done proper justice, I don't think. But it's kind of a fun horror action movie. Brightburn, this is a German steelbook, a kind of superhero-esque horror movie. Dylan Dog, Dead of Night, starring Brandon Routh, one-time Superman. This is a, I think, Dutch metal pack. And then we have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. There's a Spanish metal pack, very heavily embossed. I, Frankenstein. Not a brilliant film, but it's kind of, I like the steelbook, to be honest. I kind of like the simplicity of it. Krampus. A really fun Christmas themed horror movie. This is a German steelbook. And then finally for horror we have Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. This is a German steelbook with, of course, a lenticular magnet, as you can see here. And that concludes horror. Moving on to action and drama. And we will start off with a German version of Sherlock Holmes. This one has a nice plastic PET sleeve. We also then have the Sherlock Holmes, The Game of Shadows, which of course is the sequel. And we got a few Jason Statham movies. We have Transporter 3. The Mechanic. This is a German one. And the movie Safe. We have Lawless. This is a German release. Rock and Roller, which of course is a landscape steelbook with the same image. Ooh. Kingsman, The Secret Service. This is the first movie. This is an HMV. This is a re-released version. So I prefer the cover of this one. Devil's Double. We have the Taylor Lautner action movie. I think it's called Abducted in the UK, but it's obviously the German spelling here. The Big Bang, which I, to be honest with you, I have no idea. I thought this was a bundle. I have no idea what this movie actually is like. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. The Kidnapping of Freddie Heineken. The Next 3 Days. We have a Fast and the Furious. This is a jumbo steelbook. So multiple, I think there's 5 movies in here, yeah. So the first 5 films. We have a few Denzel movies. First we've got Safe House. Then we have Training Day. Next up we have Two Guns. Man on Fire. Then we have a few Bruce Willis movies. Red 2. Hostage. This is a German metal pack. Die Hard with a Vengeance. And A Good Day to Die Hard. Everyone's favourite Die Hard movie. Next up we have Con Air. It's actually one of my favourite action movies. I really enjoy this movie. This is a German steelbook. We also have Lord of War. The great Nick Cage. True Grit. This is the remake. This is a German release. With a few martial art movies, we have Kill Bill 1 and 2. That's a German release here. John Woo's Dark Stone. We have Ninja Assassin. I think this is a German release. We have the original Mortal Kombat movie, which I believe is a MediaMarkt exclusive from Germany. Obviously based on a video game. Also based on a video game, we have Dead or Alive, or DOA. This is a Dutch release. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this one. Rurouni Kenshin. Also have the second one to that. We have the Tekken, also based on a video game. Steelbook. And Crying Freeman. This is the French version, starring Mark Dacascos. We have G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. This is a French version. G.I. Joe Retaliation. This is a UK version, which was put out by the Entertainment Store, which was limited to 2000 apparently. We have Zero Dark 30. This is a plain archive edition. It has this kind of like, it's meant to be like a night vision PET sleeve. This is a premium steelbook. And it's limited to 2,000 copies, that one. We have A Bridge Too Far with an all-star cast there. Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. We have Hacksaw Ridge, which is directed by Mel Gibson. I think this is an Italian release, this one. We have Tunnel Rats, which is actually a metal pack from Germany, I think. And this is actually a UA Bowl movie, but not actually that bad, I will say. Sticking with Vietnam, we have Platoon. We have John Wick 2. I haven't actually got the first one, ironically, which is my favourite one. This is a German steelbook, so I'll have to pick up the first movie at some point. We also have John Wick 3, Parabellum. This one is an Amazon UK exclusive, and this comes with the slip case. You've got a coin and a kind of like a metal card inside, which you can probably hear knocking around. We have one of the original buddy cop movies, Lethal Weapon. Of course, we have Lethal Weapon 2. We have Lethal Weapon 3. But you're expecting Lethal Weapon 4, then I don't have that one. This one is Animal Kingdom. Wanted, which is technically based on a comic book, so arguably it should be in my superhero movies, but it's really an action film. It's only a very loose adaptation of the comic. Natural Born Killers. Edge of Darkness, which is I think an Australian steelbook. And Olympus Has Fallen. Okay, time for some Schwarzenegger action movies. So first one we'll have a look up is The Last Stand. This movie has a ton of steelbooks for some reason, and I haven't yet seen it. We also have this version, which is again from Germany, and I love this kind of simple design. and this kind of gold flavoured, you know, badge version. We have Sabotage, which also has a hell of a lot of steelbooks. A different version of Sabotage, again with the kind of the gold badge motif. We have Commando. This is a UK one, I think was put out by Zavvi originally. Collateral Damage, which is a German version. The Last Action Hero, which is a really uncommon steelbook. This is a belief put out by Zavvi. I think the UK is the only place to get this movie on steelbook, to be honest, and it's meant to be like a ticket. Red Heat. This is the French version. Now you might think, oh, it's got the original cover on it. It hasn't. It's got this regular sickle and hammer, but it's for some reason this is the other way around. So that's not got the spine on it. So in France, I'm assuming they don't want to have the hammer in the Soviet logo on the front. They've literally got the back cover facing out, which fooled me into thinking this was the cover that they had on it. Cheeky buggers. We have Escape Plan. This is going to kind of like segue into the Stallone version action movies I've got. But of course we have to have the Expendables. This is the British version. Expendables 2, also the British version. And the Expendables 3, once again the British version. We have Cobra, which was put out by Zavvi. Bullet to the Head, which is a metal pack. This is a, I think, Japanese version. Cliffhanger, this is the UK version. First Blood, this is the UK version. Rambo First Blood Part 2. Rambo 3. Then we have just Rambo, which was a part, some called John Rambo in some countries. This is the HMV steelbook. And then we have Warhorse. Inception. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Really enjoyed that movie. Casino Royale, this is a German version of the steelbook, which I much prefer the cover of than the UK version. Skyfall. Then we have the Arrow version. This is actually the second steelbook they put out for Big Trouble in Little China. And this one is the first one. A few Matt Damon movies. Green Zone. The Adjustment Bureau. And we have Money Monster. Leon, one of my favourite movies probably of all time, to be honest with you. This one is, I think, a Canadian version from Future Shop, with this kind of like pop art style cover art there. We also have this steelbook with the kind of the classic image of Jean Reno. I also have a very similar looking version with actually a metal pack. You notice the
border on the side here. For the French version of Pulp Fiction, with a slightly different colour layout to the kind of remaining, you know, rest of the kind of like the images that have that sort of same one. I think I actually prefer this one. I think it pops a little better. We have Goodfellas. This is an Italian version. The original Taken movie. This is a French version. I also have the British version. Taken 2, which is I think a French version again. And I have the Taken Trilogy, which is an Italian version. Next genre is going to be a kind of a mix between sort of comedy and family movies. Basically the miscellaneous. This is the Emoji Movie. This is a obviously a non-UK version, I believe a German edition. We have Disney's Cars, which is again a German edition, I believe. We have Zoolander, one of my favourite comedy movies. This is an American version at Walmart, and this one comes with a like a headband that has hair attached to it, and yeah, just for fun really. So it's kind of in a thicker case. Arrow Video put out the edition of Weird Science. This is the UK version. This is my #1 comedy film. Even though I don't actually find it particularly funny, I love the movie. We have Disney's Bedknobs and Broomsticks. We have Finding Nemo. We have Big Hero 6. This is the initial steelbook put out by Zavvi, 3D. We have the original Jumanji. We have the Nightmare Before Christmas. This is the Best Buy glow-in-the-dark version from the Americas. The in-between is two, quite frankly, a power imitation of the series in the first movie. But it's the only one you can get on steelbook. We have the original Ghostbusters. This is the first release steelbook in the UK. Then we have Ghostbusters 2016, the remake. So this is the this has got like a rubberized magnet that kind of sticks onto the front there. Then we have Ted, the UK version. Jungle Book. I want to say this is the Australian version. The Full Monty, classic British comedy movie. 50 Shades Darker. I actually got this as a bundle with other ones, believe it or not. We have another version of The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is just the standard UK initial launch Blu-ray steelbook. Tropic Thunder. This is a German steelbook. And then finally, for sort of comedy movies, we've got the Hangover trilogy, all three Hangover movies in one set, which is a UK set. And that concludes the comedies. So now we're going to move on to kind of fantasy and historical kind of movies. So we have The Gods of Egypt. I haven't actually seen this movie yet, but it's a cool monster movie. I know it had some controversy, but nonetheless, I kind of wanted to pick it up because I do want to see it. It looks like it has some cool monsters. This is a this is not an English steelbook. I'm not quite sure which country this is from. We have one of many Hobbit ones I've got. I have a few French editions of this. This one has obviously you've got Gollum on the front of this one. I've also got one with, of course, Bilbo. This is another French one. And yet another French one. This one is the first in the Hobbit movies. This is got a lenticular Gandalf magnet on there, though. And then we have the Unexpected Journey. This is the UK extended version. This is a jumbo steelbook. And as you probably expect, we have the Desolation of Smaug, which is again a UK jumbo steelbook. We have the Battle of the Five Armies, and then once again the extended version UK jumbo steelbook. And then we have the Fellowship of the Ring from the Lord of the Rings. This is the UK edition, and they actually they only put the extended version out on the Fellowship, but they didn't do the other two films, so you can only get this one as an extended version, which is a little bit of an annoying, but because of that you can pick it up for quite cheap. And then I have a Italian version for this one, I believe. Italian or French, I can't remember. And then, in the wrong order, we have Two Towers. This is an American version. We have Conan the Barbarian. This is the original Zavvi release. They've just released another version, although it's similar. It's actually slightly different. The image is a little bit more zoomed in. The logo is slightly different. It's not got the embossing, and although you can't see it, it does actually have a it does have a different picture on the back. So this is the original version from Zavvi. I also have this one, which is a European release of both Conan the Barbarian and the Destroyer. This is probably there are a couple of versions of this. This is an American one, and this one, which I want to say is French, but this is actually fairly rare. We have another French one. This is the remake, of course, with Jason Momoa. We have Willow. This is a UK steelbook. And we have the Warcraft movie. This one was from a company called Zoom in the UK, although I think they've sold their access stock to like Zavvi, but this one was originally a Zoom exclusive. We have this German metal pack. This has got 3 films. I'm not really a big fan of multiple packs, to be honest. I'd rather have films individually, but these are kind of 3 like B-movie dragon, sort of cheap, sci-fi movie dragon movies. We have the Prince of Persia, obviously based off the video game. And then we have a German Rutger Hauer fantasy movie, Flesh and Blood. This is a recent acquisition, again from Christmas. There you go. Some Viking related ones now. This one is Vikingdom, and I think it's a Dutch release. Kind of a B-movie Viking film, which you can probably guess. But it has got some good visuals, I would say that. Now this one is one of my favourite as in regards to design. This is called Pathfinder, and this is a French metal pack. And this was from the retailer Fnac, or FNAC, exclusive to them. But it's a really cool looking edition. And to be honest with you, I have seen this film, but I barely remember it. But yeah, it's such a great looking art there. I just, you know, I had to have it. This is Vikings versus Native Americans. And then we have Northman, Viking Saga. Again, it's a kind of a cheap B-movie. You've got the guy here who was in the Umbrella Academy, and he was Percival in the Merlin TV series. Thor, Hammer of the Gods. This is a kind of a fantasy. It's an interesting one actually. This is not really like a superhero Thor one. He's much more of just a kind of a Viking warrior, and they fight werewolves. It's like a really like bizarre plot. And then we have Galliman, Asian, you know, fantasy action one. Legend of the Airbender, which is obvious, as you can probably tell, this is a German release. We have, of course, Works from the Bards. This is a German release. We have the Highlander Mondo Steelbook, so I want to say this is probably Canadian. Apologies if I'm getting a little bit of glare here, I'm trying to position them. Gladiator, obviously a European edition. Then I have a UK edition of Gladiator. UK edition of Braveheart. We have the Russell Crowe Robin Hood movie. It's one of those films that I think are forgotten in the annals of time. 10,000 BC. Uh, 300, the original one, and there's a few different 300 movies, but like steelbook editions. But I specifically wanted this one because I think the cover's quite striking. And then we have 300's Rise of the Empire. So let's talk some sci-fi. First one we'll have a look at is the Osiris Child. This is actually a pretty decent kind of space opera style movie. This is a French steelbook. It's actually called something else in the UK, which I can't actually remember what it is, but it's a fun little movie starring Kellen Lutz. We have the Spaceballs. This is actually a Viva pack. This is the American version. There was a version released in the UK with the same kind of artwork and everything, but this is actually the American version, and it's not technically a steelbook. It's actually a Viva metal pack, but it's more or less the same thing. This is Beyond Skyline, the sequel to the Skyline movie. Actually a pretty decent action kind of science fiction movie with kind of like robotic aliens, lots of kind of action, pretty decent special effects, I've got to say. Now this is the Guyver. This is actually a metal pack, and this is based off a manga. This one is actually called Neutronics when it was first released in the UK. It's a highly embossed metal pack. I actually prefer the sequel, The Dark Hero, but this is still a pretty fun science fiction movie. This one probably should have gone on my TV ones, to be honest. This is the Doctor Who The Spearhead from Space Steelbook with John Pewtree. Classic Who. This is the British Mars Attacks movie, obviously directed by Tim Burton. Kind of silly kind of science fiction movie, but nonetheless a science fiction movie. We have Space Battleship Yamato. This is a live-action Japanese movie based on a anime manga. Obviously, you've got the landscape-style steelbook. It's a German one. You've got Final Fantasy Kingsglaive. There's a British steelbook. Then you've got Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. This is actually an Asian metal pack. We have the British Stargate steelbook. This is a pretty good one. This is the it's a Blu-ray steelbook, though it's in a G1 case, meaning it's a DVD style case. But this is the Sucker Punch, and this one is a exclusive to Comic-Con 2014, and it's got basically the Blu-ray DVD, the soundtrack, and obviously digital codes and all of this. So yeah, that's pretty scarce in number, and with some quite fun kind of artwork there. So pretty limited 4-disc version, only available from Comic-Con 2014. We have James Cameron's Avatar, formerly the biggest movie of all time. You have the British release of Starship Troopers. I know there's an American release with a different cover, but I preferred the this one. And then we have this German movie. Well, it's actually not a German movie. German release, I should say. In the UK, it's actually called Revolt, but here it's Mankind Down. This one stars Lee Pace. We have this is the metal pack, German metal pack, with the Van Damme Cyborg movie, which originally started life as a sequel to Masters of the Universe. It's got a lenticular magnet, which is actually glued to the front, so you can see that it's a metal pack. Actually, one of my favourite Van Damme movies. I actually quite enjoy this movie quite a lot. We have the Canadian Turbo Kid. This is a release that I got directly from the website. It's got a PET slip on it, and a great kind of like 80s throwback style movie to the kind of Mad Max style movies. If you haven't seen this one, I really do highly recommend checking this one out. It's a great movie, and this is quite a nice steelbook from Canada. Sticking with the kind of Mad Max style movies, this one's Bounty Killer. This is a B movie kind of post-apocalyptic movie, quite fun. Lots of sexy girls and kind of like gangland warriors, etc. Then we have Real Steel. This one actually won the contest through another YouTuber. This is actually an Asian metal pack. And then we have Death Machine, which was a kind of a bit of a cult killer robot on the loose movie. This is a German, it's called a Turbine Steel. It's a company that kind of makes metal pack sort of style releases. Starring Ellie Pogert, if I remember. This is called Identify in the UK and probably most other places. You'd probably know it as Kill Command. So pretty decent, kind of fairly modern kind of killer robot movie. In the plot-wise, it's very similar to Dog Soldiers. And this is the French steelbook. Over there they called it Identify. Yeah, if you like kind of like B-movie sci-fi movies, I would definitely check this one out. And then we have the original Mad Max. Obviously Australian classic that started off really the kind of post-apocalyptic style movies. This one, to be fair, probably not as good as you remember. think the original film's a little weak, if I'm honest. But then we have Mad Max 2, which I think is really the movie that most people kind of think of when they think of Mad Max. And it's probably my favourite Mad Max movie, even more so than the Fury Road. Speaking of Fury Road, I have a German release of that. Still a pretty damn good movie. I think it's very similar to Mad Max 2, but I still think I prefer the original. I didn't actually have a third movie, however. Then we have Dragon Wars, or also known as D-Wars. Basically kind of Monsters on the Loose film. Not bad special effects for a relatively kind of small film. We have the Japanese exclusive release of Rampage. This is the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson one, with kind of like artwork that will remind you of the 1970s poster for King Kong. I really enjoy this poster, this artwork here, which is why I wanted to get specifically this version of the Steelbook. Then we have Super 8 by, of course, J.J. Abrams, who went on to do many other things, as you probably know. This is the one that kind of most compared him to Spielberg, who of course was a producer on this movie. It's an okay film. Pacific Rim, the 3D version. So many steelbooks for this movie. It's okay. I'm not the hugest fan of this one, and I didn't really like the second one, to be honest. Then we have Godzilla, 2014 version. This is just a standard Blu-ray release from the UK. Jurassic Park 3. And then we have Jurassic World. And a shame, really, this is the only two JP films I've got. Next up we have Universal Soldier. This is a German steelbook. They have actually re-released a kind of a 4K steelbook now, but this is the German standard Blu-ray one. And then we have Universal Soldier: Day of Reckoning, one of the kind of the many sequels that ended up happening for this movie. This one's got Scott Adkins in it as well. Then we move on to the Terminator franchise. So many additions to this one. This is a UK release. I think it was through Zavvi. And then we have a second UK release. Ironically, we haven't had the actual original artwork, just in its full glory with Terminator. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This one is known as the Skynet edition. This is a UK steelbook. Then we have a second UK steelbook, again with the kind of the endoskeleton on the front there. And then we have the Terminator 2 Mondo version. I think this is the Canadian one, and this is the variant version of the artwork, which has a slightly different colour scheme to it. Then we have Terminator 2. This is the new one from Zavvi. This is actually a glow-in-the-dark steelbook, where Arnie on his bike will actually glow up once you're going to charge it. Pretty decent. Then we have the Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. This is actually an Italian steelbook, although it's actually the same steelbook that you would have had in the UK. Then we have the German version, which is a slightly different cover. Then we have Terminator Salvation, which is the standard UK steelbook. I have a German version, which is the same thing, but it's a different title basically. German translation. I got the Canadian Future Shop Steelbook of Terminator Salvation. And then we have the Kimchi DVD Korean Steelbook, which has got a lenticular sleeve on it. I don't know how well that shows up, but yeah. So this one's actually a limited premium one, so limited to 1,500. And then finally for Terminator we have Terminator Genesis. Okay, so Prometheus, obviously a prequel to the Alien movies. This is a UK steelbook. Then I have the Alien Anthology, which is all 4 Alien movies in a jumbo steelbook. It's not an English one, I think it's maybe a French one, this one. I also have the Singular Aliens steelbook. I think this one is from Zavvi. Then I have the first Aliens v Predator, which a movie I actually quite enjoy. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure. The second one not so much, but this first movie I actually quite enjoyed it. And that of course leads us to Predator, my favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and I personally think his best performance. So this is the German version of Predator, or I should say a German version. Then we have this version, which I think is pretty much available everywhere. It's actually my one's actually a French one, and but I think you can get it in the UK and in the States. This is kind of a 4K kind of re-release of it. Some pretty nice artwork on there. Then we have the Predator 3D version, which is this is a UK steelbook. Very similar to that, we actually have this one, which is a German 3D steelbook. This one was exclusive to MediaMarkt, and as you can see, it's got how can we do this? It's got like a lenticular thing on the front, which gives you the kind of the heat vision. So that's really cool, even though it's actually the same steelbook as the one I've just shown you. We have Predator 2. This is the German version, which is actually quite difficult to get hold of. Then we have the British version of Predator 2. Then we have Predators, or this is technically the Predators 3, I suppose. The UK steelbook. Next up we have Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I think is actually a metal pack, and this one was like a Fox store exclusive in the UK, I believe. And then we have the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is actually a proper steelbook. Then we have a pitch black landscape steelbook. It's a British one. We also have, excuse me, a portrait version of the steelbook. This is the, not quite sure, maybe a German one. Then we have Riddick, which I think is the third film. I think this is a German one as well. Then we went to Outlander, which you could arguably say is a fantasy movie, but it's about a scientifically advanced, you know, alien are basically going down to kind of Viking times, but there you go. I'll put it under sci-fi. Pretty fun, but forgotten about kind of sci-fi fantasy movie. Then we have Dread. This is the Best Buy Mondo steelbook. Mine's actually signed by the artist, as you can see here. Really love the cover of that one. That is such good artwork. And a pretty darn good movie, one must say. So that is their more recent Dread film. I also have the Judge Dredd movie that stars Stallone. Again, I quite like this movie. It's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I'm well aware of that. But nonetheless, I like it as a science fiction movie. Maybe less so as a Judge Dredd adaptation, but as a science fiction movie, I still think it's pretty fun. We had the original J.J. Abrams Star Trek kind of reboot movie. And then we have Star Trek Beyond. This is a French version. I just really love the artwork for this one. I think it's such a catching steelbook. I have yet to see the movie, however. I've not actually seen the film yet. Then we have the RoboCop remake. This is the 2014, I want to say, reboot of it. I also have, I think it's the American or Canadian metal pack. I just love the artwork of this one. I think it's such a great design. Yeah, okay, the film isn't as good as the original. I'm not debating that, but I really like the design of this particular one. We have the RoboCop. This is the Arrow release. This is the UK edition, and which is one of my most recent acquisitions from a Christmas present from one of my oldest friends. Total Recall. This is an American steelbook with a pretty unique design. Obviously, the alien handprint. Then we have the British Total Recall. Then we have the German Running Man. This one is being released in the UK. The German one has this PET slipcase, which you can see gives you all the kind of the little peep at the front here, which I don't think the UK one has. So I might not get the UK one. I'll have to see what it looks like in person. Oblivion with Tom Cruise. Elysium with Matt Damon, it's just a UK steelbook. Denzel Washington in the Book of Eli, is a German landscape style steelbook. Of course, we have to talk about Star Wars. I do not have all the Star Wars films on steelbook or even on Blu-ray because I simply don't like some of them. This is the Rogue One, which is the prequel to the original Star Wars, I suppose, which I do enjoy, I have to say. Then we have Solo, which of course I guess is another prequel to the original Star Wars movies. I enjoyed it less so, but it still has some enjoyable moments, I would say. Then we have Star Wars A New Hope, or as I like to call it, Star Wars. Obviously the first and arguably the greatest Star Wars movie. And then we have The Empire Strikes Back, which is generally most people's favourite. I mean, I love these steelbooks. I think they're great designs with the kind of the villain characters on the back. I actually find the editing's boring, however, in this movie. And then we have Return of the Jedi. And The Force Awakens. We have the Transformers animated movie, a film that I saw at the cinema and loved, and boy was I sad when Optimus Prime died. Spoiler alert. We have the German version of the original live action movie, directed by Michael Bay. I don't mind the first movie. I also have the second one, a movie that I have to say I loathe, but I bought it in with the first one. We have Age of Extinction. This is the standard kind of Blu-ray release for the UK. And then we have the Age of Extinction 3D version, which was an Entertainment Store exclusive, as you can see there, with different artwork on it. And then we have the Bumblebee spin-off. This is actually an Italian version. I wasn't interested in not the 4K version. So Italy had this design just on Blu-ray, so I just got that one. Battlestar Galactica. This is the kind of the pilot episode, which was released theatrically in Europe. This is actually a premium steelbook from a company called Steel Archive, which I think is defunct now, and is limited to just 200. So it's pretty scarce on the ground. Yep. So there you go. It's the premium steelbook. I also have Battlestar Galactica: The Plan, which was of the kind of the latter series. I think one of their sort of movies that they did, TV movies. Will Smith's After Earth, which is probably the cheapest steelbook you'll ever find. This one's always like £1 somewhere in the second-hand shops. I had Johnny Mnemonic. This is a cyberpunk movie, stars Keanu Reeves. So if you're a fan of The Matrix, you may want to check this one out. This is a Turbine Steel collection, which is a German kind of metal pack style one. This actually got a pretty good cast. You've got Ice-T, you've got Dolph Lundgren in there as well. Cowboys and Aliens. Blade Runner 2049. And Snowpiercer. Stars Captain America himself, Chris Evans. We have Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man. It's a German steelbook. Fairly scarce on the ground now, this one. And there's actually a pretty fun science fiction action movie from Stallone. We have Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. We have The Fifth Element. This is a Canadian version from Future Shop, which is one of their pop art sleeves. Then we have the Matrix. It's a great movie, but the sequels, well, I don't need to tell you about the sequels. And then we have the Metropolis, which is, of course, a landscape steelbook. This is the Master of the Cinema version. We have the Hunger Games Catching Fire. We have the original Hunger Games, totally done them out of order, haven't I? There you go. We have Masters of the Universe. This, arguably, you could say is a fantasy movie, but I would class it more as a sci-fi. This is a Spanish metal pack that was actually a real bugger to get hold of. Amazon actually cancelled my order, so I had to get it on the aftermarket. It's heavily embossed. You actually have like a spine magnet on there as well, and you get loads of kind of lobby cards in there, limited to 2,000 pieces, which is actually numbered right there. Ex Machina, very well regarded AI movie. And then Serenity, which of course was the cinematic conclusion to the short-lived TV show Firefly. I think this is either a Spanish or a maybe Italian steelbook. And that concludes the science fiction movies. So now we're going to move on to superhero movies that are not Marvel. You would have seen in my other video that I do all the Marvel ones. This is the DC ones we'll start with, and then we'll go into kind of more indie stuff. So The Dark Knight, I think this is a French steelbook. Then of course we have The Dark Knight Returns. I currently do not have a Batman Begins, however. Then we have a Man of Steel. This is a kind of one of the sort of comic book sort of style re-releases. And then the original 3D British release. We have the HMV exclusive edition. We have the Green Lantern, which was supposed to start off the DC Extended Universe, but they ended up scrapping that. We have Batman v Superman. This is the Italian version. We have the British version. And then we have Shazam, which is one of my favourite kind of the DC movies. This is a 4K one that Zavi put out. So, Marvel's The Avengers. You might be thinking, hang on, you said there was no Marvel. I don't really collect the animated stuff too much. I've only got a couple, so I don't really keep them with a collection. This is the Ultimate Avengers collection. There's 2 movies in it. I have the Hulk versus, which has got 2 shorts, Hulk versus Thor, Hulk versus Wolverine. And then I have the Planet Hulk, which is one of my favourite animated. I'm not really a big cartoon guy, to be honest, so, but this one I quite enjoyed. Okay, moving on to some of the more indie stuff. So, Toxic Avenger, this one put out by 88 Films, obviously based on a Trauma title, which had a variety of sequels. V for Vendetta. This is a Japanese release with a pretty decent looking artwork on there. Kick-Ass, comic by Mark Miller. I actually really enjoyed these movies, and I actually read the comic as well. We have Kick-Ass 2. I enjoyed this movie nearly as much as the second one. I know a lot of people don't like it. We have The Mask, which is with Jim Carrey. Not a lot of people realise this was based on a comic. The Guardians, which I think is an original kind of superhero movie, not actually based on source material as far as I know. There's a German steelbook of a Russian movie. Chronicle, which is a found footage movie. This is a French version. Super. Before Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn did another superhero movie. This one stars Rainn Wilson. That's Super, which is a really violent kind of satire on the superhero genre. Mystery Men, which is a kind of it's actually based on a comic, but has a pretty good an all-star cast here, like a very quirky kind of hipster style comedy superhero movie. So next up we are going to be having a look at Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. I don't actually have the original Hellboy or the remake Hellboy, however. Next up we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the original 90s live action movie that was put out by Zavi. And then we have the Green Hornet. It starred Seth Rogen. Actually, kind of funny movie. I actually kind of enjoyed this. Then we have a Russian steelbook. This is a Blu-ray steelbook, even though it's in a G1 case. And this is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So there you go. Obviously with Sean Connery's final movie. Then we have The Crow, starring Brandon Lee, who sadly passed away whilst making this movie. This is the German edition. And then we have the UK edition that was put out by Zavi. And we have Spawn. This is by Mediamarkt, I want to say, from Germany. And there you go. So DVD steelbooks, they're in no particular order. So we have Miami Vice. This is the remake that stars Colin Farrell. There's a Region 1 DVD steelbook. Actually, you cannot get this on Blu-ray steelbook. We have the Sin City recut and extended version, which is kind of puts everything in a different order. It's just the UK steelbook. There Will Be Blood, obviously starring Daniel Day-Lewis. UK steelbook. You have Duel, a Steven Spielberg movie. I think it's his first film. Actually a pretty good movie. We have People Under the Stairs. This is a metal pack which has this kind of sand sort of effect cover here. Yeah, I don't know, ask me why. This is a Spanish one. Similar to this, we have The Fog, which has a metal pack. It's a metal pack which has this green liquid inside. We have Predator 2, UK DVD steelbook. The Highlander DVD UK steelbook. The original Superman steelbook, Christopher Reeve one. It's a Spanish steelbook. Return of the Living Dead 5. Rave to the Grave. Not one of the better sequels, to be honest. We have The Real Ghostbusters Volume 1. This is an American DVD steelbook. We have Dog Soldiers, which you cannot get on Blu-ray at all in the UK currently. This is a American DVD steelbook. Hellboy collection. This is the first two original Del Toro movies. '84 Charlie Mopic, which is a fantastic found footage Vietnam War movie. Probably not particularly well known, but I had this back in the VHS days. Please pick it up, even though it is a DVD steelbook. Die Hard 4. I actually quite like this movie. We have Aliens, the Definitive Edition, UK steelbook. We have Cloverfield. I think it's a very similar steelbook that you can get on Blu-ray, to be honest. This is just the DVD version. Masters of the Universe. This is actually, I got a feeling this might actually have a Blu-ray in it. It's a G1 style case. It's a metal pack, and this is a Dutch version, I want to say. Now it's sealed, so I haven't actually been able to confirm that there is a Blu-ray. It doesn't actually say on the back, and it says DVD. But I have seen some reports that say there is a Blu-ray inside. So I put it in my DVD steelbook, despite the fact that this may well have a Blu-ray. This is the other. There's two metal packs you can get in this film. Eragon. This is a failed attempt to start a new franchise. Hancock, a kind of superhero movie starring Will Smith. This is the UK version. Dead Silence. This is a Spanish version which has a blood pack. As you can see, it has the liquid squishing around inside. It's a metal pack. Hatchet. I'm not quite sure where this one's from actually. It's not a British one. Return of the Living Dead Part 3. This is a lenticular kind of sticker on there, and this is a metal pack from XC Video, which I think is German. We have the Relic. This is another one of these Spanish blood packs. Don't know how well you'll see the kind of the goo slopping around in there. So there, this is a Spanish metal pack. And then finally for DVD, I have, whoops, upside down, Saw 3. This actually has a slip case, but inside is a steelbook, and you get this another blood pack, and you also get some plastic teeth inside as well. It's a pretty fun little package, that one. So that is the DVD steelbooks.